Hello everyone, I'm Greg Otto here with FedScoop TV, and we're at the Adobe Digital Government Assembly, and I'm talking with John Mellor, the VP of Strategy for Adobe. John, thanks for taking some time out to talk with us today.
Thank you, Greg.
So, talk to me about where you see the progress in the government and how they are with their digital initiatives. Are they keeping up with the private sector, or are they lagging behind, somewhere in between?
Sure. Yeah, I think what's interesting, and it's almost a luxury that we have in the public sector, is we get to watch all of the private companies go out and make lots of mistakes.
Right.
We get to see people in retail or financial services or travel or media, really kind of cut their teeth on lots of new technologies that I'll say, maybe have lower impact for reliability or security than do the government infrastructures and applications. And what I see as being really exciting is a lot of these government agencies are looking to those private sector examples and starting to really reach out and create great consumer experiences. I look at just the State of the Union address just a month or so ago, and that was a very different experience than previous State of the Union.
Right.
You start to see, of course, a lot of digital streaming of the event, but you see experience getting wrapped around that presentation. So you're seeing other slideware, you're seeing the availability of that not just on over web or desktop, but you're seeing it on mobile devices. It's an interesting transition that I think we're seeing in the government.
How do you see private industry helping advance the government from where it is today?
Yeah, well, I think the private sector is, I sort of look at it from the government's perspective as a giant test bed. You get to see what works. You get to see maybe where the soft spots are, where the consumer uptake is. The government doesn't need to be as entrepreneurial as a lot of these private sector companies. I think there's significant entrepreneur spirit in the government, and what they get to do is look to the private sector to make a lot of mistakes before they have to go and implement it in an environment that requires a level of security and reliability and openness that the private sector isn't burdened with.
Right. So the themes of the assembly for today were secure, efficient, and engaged. With that in mind, where do you see those themes being implemented in the government today?
Sure. Well, I think those are sort of axioms that the government requires in order to do their job properly. And Adobe is a leader in helping companies in the private sector deliver experiences that are very engaging, that have high experiential value. And what we've done with this announcement today around the cloud services is take that technology that's been really hardened over the last decade in the consumer space or in the private sector space, and made it available for governments to take that experience technology and yet deliver it in environments that are highly engaging, that are open, and that are secure.
Where do you see in federal government the best example within the federal government of leveraging the best technology out there right now?
Well, I think the Go Army is a customer. They have a great presence, a great experience when you interact with that brand. And it's interesting to talk about a government entity in terms of a brand, but that's really what it is. Right. I mean, there's similar objectives there with awareness and acquisition and then fulfillment, et cetera. So I think that's a really good example. I look to some of the other. I still think the White House, the State of the Union address was a good example of how media is being combined with other factors in a digital experience to create a consumer experience with that content that's much richer than simply just making a transcript available online.
John, thank you for taking some time out to talk with us today.
Pleasure.
You can check out more of our videos on our YouTube page, and for more information, read fedscoop.com. I'm Greg Otto. Thanks for watching.